Hey, what's going on YouTube? We're back with another Borderlands video, and today's topic will be 5 potential villains for Borderlands 3. And we're going to look into 5 different scenarios for villains that we may come across in Borderlands 3, based on information in previous games, Easter eggs, and also clues that we've gathered throughout the series. So, the first being the most obvious in Tannis, which we've seen in the Battleborn Easter egg, which you can see here. We have someone telling us that Tannis is an issue and that she's not what she seems. This could be a huge turn of events if we find out that Tannis is actually essentially playing the long con and is going to screw us over big time. Now, we shouldn't open the vaults, and the question here is why? Tannis could know something we don't, and she may utilize her knowledge of the vaults against us, and that could be huge. That could be very, very problematic for us, because we know she's the leading expert on Iridians, Iridium, Sirens, all that stuff. So now, if we remember in Borderlands 1, she may have sold us out to the Lance and Commandant Steele, and she never denied it, which is a big factor here. And I'm starting to wonder if her psychosis is actually a front for something much more devious, and time will only tell. I very well could see her working with somebody to open the vault, or letting us open the vault knowing damn well what's inside of it, and it's going to be something that, like, really is a problem, and I don't know, maybe she can open it and take control of whatever's in there, and then it's just crazy. I could see a lot of different scenarios with Tannis, and this one is either the most obvious one or what Gearbox wants us to think with that Easter egg. The second one being Lilith, and this is entirely due to her issues with Iridium. Now, I'm not saying she's outright evil, but as she gets more and more addicted to the stuff, she's going to become more and more unstable. I wouldn't call her a true villain in the sense that she's purposefully gonna hurt people that she cares about, like Brick, Mordecai, Tina, basically everybody that's still a part of the Raiders, still in Sanctuary. But the thing is, we know that she gets unstable when she's on Iridium, and if her Iridium usage continues on the trend that it's currently on, where she's just batshit insanely powerful, and things are starting to go, and she's dealing with loss, and we've got this and that, something could be really bad for us. And, you know, it could end up being, in the future, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, who the hell knows what we're going to see? Maybe we're going to find out that these bonds between these characters have been broken. You know, obviously, we've seen something similar happen between the Crimson Raiders and one of the Vault Hunters in Brick, you know? He broke off after the whole thing with Shep Sanders selling out New Haven, then he beat the fuck out of him, and then Roland was like, dude, you know, we're not about this, and they got in a fight, and he bailed. And what if that happens with Lilith? Like, everybody's like, you're unstable, you're not gonna lead us anymore, we're gonna let Mordecai do it, or whoever, and she has a problem with that, and she bails. That's happened before, and that would be a very easy conflict for us to deal with, and maybe she's not the end-all, be-all villain, but that's a conflict that's going to build the story, build the world much better. And if they wanted to be lazy, honestly, they could do the same thing. Like, we go to her, she realizes, and we're buddies again. But that could very well be something that happens. And if Gearbox goes that route with, you know, a villain named Lilith that's a siren, that could be insane. So, again, time will only tell. So next up is the idea that the Watcher may not be friendly, and that it may just be playing us close to its chest in order to get a leg up on us when we least expect it. Now think about it. We don't really know much about it. We don't know if it's a Guardian or a living Iridian. We know that it seems to be pretty powerful, and we know that it's kind of showed up at a very interesting time, and it's saving people, and that's kind of strange, right? Now, if we look back, here's the big thing for me. If we look back at Borderlands 1, we look at the Vault Hunters from the pre-sequel, we see a lot of different Guardians that they slaughtered. Now, the Iridians created the Guardians, so what if the Watcher is actually a living Iridian? And I would be pissed if I made all this stuff to protect the vaults, and then all these dudes came down here and just blew them away and then opened the vaults. that would be something that I don't think would sit well with me. So perhaps the Watcher is just getting close to us, letting us carry out some stuff, and there's this master plan in place that once we carry out something so far, or, you know, we neutralize or help weaken another enemy of theirs, they're gonna swoop in and take out both of us, and we're gonna have to deal with that. Or there's always the case that they have another Iridian super weapon like the Warrior stored away, and they're gonna just try to destroy us with that. And I think that could be a really cool story arc if executed correctly, of course. Now that there's a lot of different ideas that float around Borderlands themed that may be really cool, but obviously if it's not executed correctly, it could be kind of lame. So I could see this being this big grand thing, but it's gotta really catch us off guard. Like, if you play through a game, you can kind of figure out when things are gonna happen because it almost goes on a beat. So they'd have to do a good job of just fooling us. Now, the fourth option would be whoever or whatever sent the message about Tannis. We don't know who or what their motives are or who they are. Why would they just warn us out of the blue about Tannis? That seems a bit odd to me, and honestly, I could see it as a ploy to keep us preoccupied with Tannis while they start to make their moves in the background. These are the type of people that you're like, hey, don't open the vault on Promethea, and they're like, vault? We're vault hunters. Of course we're gonna go open it. So I could see something like that happen where maybe these people warning us about Tannis are actually working with Tannis, and it's just this huge ruse. And boom, we go to Promethea, and there's just a absolute incredible amount of, you know, people looking to really wreck us, or Iridians, or aliens, or everything in between. I mean, if you look at it, why would someone that we have no idea who they are just kind of warn us about something out of the blue, right? So essentially, I'm thinking that either they have something behind their motives, or maybe they're working with somebody. So the idea is these messengers, we'll call them, are actually the quite opposite of what we may think, like they're a saving grace. No, they're actually playing us, and they're banking on the fact that it's going to bait us into turning on somebody that actually isn't bad, and basically becoming preoccupied there. So that's a pretty crazy idea, and it's certainly out there, but you know, we can't really rule anything out. And when it comes down to speculation in videos like this, it's really cool to just let your mind go. And then I say something and you guys are like, oh shit, what about this? And we're just like blowing each other's minds. So this was the one that's a reach for me that I think is pretty cool. And then we'll move on to the last potential villain that I want to talk about. And it's Vladov Space Communism. It's spreading and we must combat it. I'm just kidding. But seriously, honestly, if we really want to be reasonable, we'll end with a very tangible one. We're probably looking at a bandit group or bandit groups on Promethea and another manufacturer trying to make moves. Now, we don't know who it could be. It could be Vladov Space Communism. They are a manufacturer. Let's calm down. Let's bring it down a notch, people. But seriously, that's what's most likely. Let's be real. I really hope it's not Hyperion. I really hope it's not Reese with Atlas. I doubt it. I don't see him turning into a bad guy, but if Gearbox wants to keep their crutch in place and say like, oh shit, Jack didn't die. Oh shit, Jack took over Reese, then boom, we've got our villain right there. So personally, I don't like the idea of this, but it's certainly easy and it's been done before and it's made good games. So hopefully if they go this route, it's not Hyperion, it's not Atlas, and it's not Jack. I want something fresh on Promethea. Bring us a new manufacturer, bring us somebody from a different galaxy, different universe, whatever, and have them want to wreak havoc, and we'll fight them, and it'll be amazing. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Always watch out for Vladov Space Communism. I gotta be honest, it's out there and you don't want to get sucked into it, man. Vladov munitions, pretty good. Space Communism, just not that good. If you got something to add, drop a comment down below. And if you guys are into Borderlands, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Later.